Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to explain the consignment process. So, what is consignment process? I'm sorry. So today we'll discuss pipeline process. Right? Pipeline process. We'll discuss pipeline process, not consignment. Right? So, what is pipeline process? What is pipeline? Meaning any material, any fluid. Sorry, not any material, any fluid or electricity or gas or oil that is flowing from the source body to our plant premises. That is nothing but the pipeline procurement. Pipeline procurement or pipeline process. Okay. Source body, maybe it is a government office, government related office, like we have water supplies. Okay. Then we can think about oil from a vendor. There is some vendor who supplies oil through pipelines. Okay. There must be some water from government bodies or some other source or third party source can supply you water through a pipe. Okay. Or else it should be an electricity, whatever it may be, like wire. Okay. Whatever it may be. So whatever the items you see, like air, water, oil, uh, electricity, that is passed by the source body to our plant premises, is nothing but the pipeline procurement. So the process is very simple. Like we should have a material master. Okay, we should have a material master. Then we should have an vendor master as well. Okay, and there should be an info record. This info record is pipeline related info record. So pipeline related category info record. I'll tell you what is pipeline category info record. Okay. Then that's all we have. Okay. The simple thing is here, in terms of transactions, these are master data. In terms of transactions, what we have is it's simple. Only no GR, no PO, sorry, no PO, no GR. Okay. So what we do here is only goods issue, meaning what we are doing, goods issue. What is meant by goods issue? Meaning what we are trying to do is we have already connected the pipelines and everything with the plant. What we are doing is we are consuming and paying it. Okay, so there is no PO needed, there is no GR needed. Only what you do is you take the goods, consume it, and pay after the goods issue has been done, or the whenever you use. Okay, here give me a minute. Here the transaction to do the invoice is mine. So the finally we have some invoice as well. Okay. So we'll see what is this process in SAP. Okay. And what are the checks that we need to follow in SAP to get this done. Okay. So I'm just going ahead and sharing my screen. Give me a minute, please. Let me connect to the charger. Yeah. Now I said material master. So there is some check that is required in material master. Meaning it should be either created with pipe, material type pipe. We have two options. One is material type should be used as pipe, or existing material type should be marked as pipe allowed. Okay. So what is that meaning? Meaning if I go here, if I create one of the material, okay, like I'll say water line. Okay. So the material type what you choose here is should be pipe, pipeline materials. Okay. It should be pipeline materials. Okay. This is one step. You can do like this. Then only the material will be considered as a pipeline material. Okay. Then apart from this, we have another option where you can choose the existing ROH, raw material, or the finished material and everything, but there is a backend config that is needed, which I will show you. Okay. Go to IMG. logistics general, material master, setting for key fields, no, basic settings, material type, go to basic settings, material type, field attributes of material type. Okay. Now if you type here pipe, PIP, pipe, meaning if you go to directly pipe and say double click on this, you have this indicator pipe mandatory. Okay. But apart from this, if I choose ROHS, suppose raw ROH is the raw material that is used for creating a raw material. You will differentiate raw materials by using ROHS. You will use HALP as one of the material type for finished semi-finished material. So like that. But when you are trying to create a material with ROHS, make sure that for your plant, if I take 9997, you have this pipe allowed, meaning this material type will allow the normal raw materials and it can also allow the pipeline materials, meaning which is used basically like pipeline water, oil, gas, electricity, something like that. Okay. So you here in this case what we are trying to do is we are eradicating pipeline material type only. We are using ROHS or some other thing to use that same materials for pipe. Okay. Now this setup is done. So I have created one material which is called oil one. I took an example oil one which is created. Okay. I have maintained this is in gallons. Okay. US gallons. Okay. And this is created with the GRMNG which is custom, which is called raw materials. I have made that if I go to SPRO again, if I go to OMS2, okay. If I go to the same node, OMS2, okay, GRMG. So I'm not using the pipe as a material type. Okay, I'm just using material type as GRMG. Okay, which is a custom pipeline allowed for my pipeline allowed. Meaning, whatever I created the material here can be used as a pipeline material or the raw material, whatever it may be. Okay. Now we have the master data. We have already the vendor master data, which is BP. If you go to transaction BP, let us assume BP. If we go to BP, so I have already created a vendor master 3719, something like that. Sorry, 3720. So I created a vendor. Okay. And if I go to the purchasing data, if I go to supplier maintained, okay, go to general data. So 3705 is my vendor. Business partner is 372, but my vendor is 3705, and this vendor supplies this oil one material through pipeline. Okay. So we have 3705. We have I'm writing here oil one material. 3705 is the vendor who supplies the. Now a pipeline info record. I said pipeline info record. So how do you differentiate info record? Meaning, if you go to ME11 here, which is used to create info record. Okay. Basically, the info record is a master data which gives more information about a material and the vendor combination. Suppose a vendor has a vendor, if it is there is a vendor called A and I have a material called B, what is vendor is saying about A, meaning how much delivery time, what is the price. So it is basically the combination of vendor and material combination data specific to plant and store location. You can store it here. Okay. If you see here, if you select pipeline, that is how this info record will become pipeline. If you try to create this info record with vendor, material, purchase organization and plant combination and select pipe, then this would be becoming a pipeline info record. If you are becoming this, if you click like this, it is a standard. But what is our process here? Pipeline. This material is a pipe and we are creating a pipeline. Now I have already created this one. I'll go and change it if you want. So gallons, order unit is You also need to maintain for 15, for 1 gallon you are taking 15 USDs, okay, and you need to maintain the tax code is mandatory here, okay, okay, and standard, so standard meaning approximately they will consume some 10 gallons per month or something like that. That is what they say standard, okay. Now I have saved this is fine, okay. This is the master data that we have already created, we have already seen the setup. Now no PO, no GR. Now what happens? Suppose I have connected my plant 997 with the oil. Okay, I consumed it. It will always flow. I have some tap openings or something where I will use it, and it will have a meter or the reading where how much consumption has happened, how much oil consumption we have used in our plant premises. That gives us the details. Now what we require is here only goods issue, like my go to my go transaction, okay. This is a transaction, okay. Now here what you'll choose goods issue, others, it's 201 P. This is important, it's not 201, it is P meanings pipeline. P meanings pipeline, we are procuring pipeline material, okay. Now you will say oil 1, okay. So quantity, how much quantity? Let us assume I consumed 20 gallons. Okay, 20 gallons I have used. From where you have used? I used for plant 997, in store location 997A. For production purpose I have used, or something for cost center, for cleaning like water. Let us assume this is the water I use for cleaning. Let us assume this is the electricity that is used for different department purpose. Okay, like that. Now I'll prepare 9998 underscore cost center. Now you have done everything now. Okay. Now say check. Let us see if we have any other issues. Validated stock becomes negative. 20 oil 9 C long text. What is this? Let us see. Okay. Validated stock becomes negative. Minus 20 oil. See the long text. Goods pipeline for cost center. We have used it. So okay. Check. What is it? Okay. One second. So before that, let me allow this as a negative stock as well. So in plant and store location data 997 and 7. Okay, usually it should, this from where it is not required. This is fine actually. Let us see what happens. Enter store location, it is asking my address. Okay, 9978. Oh, check. One second. Yeah. So I was able to identify why the issue has come. Okay, the issue has come because we cannot use ROHS, ZRMG, we cannot use this because ZMRG is quality and value updated here. Okay, so that is why we cannot use. So it's always better to use metal type pipe only, okay, instead of creating, instead of using the existing one. So always try to use the, so if you see quantity and value update, that is why it is checking the quantity. So I created a metal type. So the thing is, if you go here, this is wrong. So what you need to do is use always the metal type as pipe. Okay, metal type as pipe, then only it will work. Okay, I will go back. So what I'll do is I did it right. Okay, fine. So now let me post it. Go back. slash and MIQ. Okay, then goods issue. Okay, fine. So put this oil quantity 20 from where? From plant. Okay, see the plant, I gave plant and automatically it took the vendor. This is how it should work. Okay, so always try to create with material type pipe only. Okay, so that we will not get errors. See, now it is working because it's saying quantity update and value update. That is why we are getting, because it is checking for the stock actually. Okay, it is checking for stock and value. The thing is, we do not have any stock anything in our, because we do not have any PO any GR. Okay, that is why you should have this pipeline allowed. Okay, or else it's always better to create a material with pipe. Okay, always try to create a material type with pipe. Now I'm just going okay mm 0. So always try to create with pipeline materials. Okay, material type as pipe. Now fine, so everything is done. So we have consumed some how much quantity? 20 gallons. Okay, where we have consumed, we have consumed in the plant premises, and he is the vendor. Okay, this is P, and we have the account assignment has maintained. Now post it. Okay, this would come. Okay, because there is some account determination. This is the first time I'm posting this. Okay, slash and OBYC setting. What is the error? Con pipe. Okay, so it says con, KON con. So let me go to con INT. Now here general modifier. Okay, I'll put this in. PI. Let us see what happens. Does the system give us any error? Check. Post. Got posted. Okay. Now display. Enter. Now we have done the goods issue. Okay. Now how to do the invoice? How to pay the vendor? Okay. I'm going back. Go to logistics, materials management. Okay, logistics invoice verification, automatic settlement, MRKO. So MRKO is a transaction used to settle the invoice. Now my company code is 9998, plant is 997. If you remember the vendor, you can give the vendor, or if you have the material, you can say oil underscore 1. Now I'm just running it in the display mode, test mode. Okay, execute. So not settled, so everything is perfect. We can try to execute and do the invoice. You say select settle and say execute. So document created. There is a document created, invoice document. You can go to the document and you will see the invoice document. This is the invoice document. Okay. You can go to environment. Okay. Original document. Environment document. Okay, let me. Yeah, this is the document on accounting documents only. This is accounting document. Okay. Okay, header. This is the accounting key. This is perfect. Okay. This is also fine. Okay. So in this way, the settlement will happen. Okay. So in this way, the settlement will happen for your consignment. Okay. So you have the material document, you have the invoice document that has been created. Okay. So this is how the pipeline works. Pipeline procurement works. Okay. Always just remember, just try to create a material with material type pipe. Okay, instead of other thing, because others will affect. Okay, it's better to use the material type pipeline. Thanks for watching this video.